Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, March 7, 2022, Monday, 3:49 AM. मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ। आज दिनांक मार्च 7, 2022, सोमवार सुबह के 3:49। टॉपिक इज सेम, क्वालिटी एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन. Quality and coordination, engineering projects works, communication, concrete, civil engineering, reliable engineers, work contracts, SHE designs, construction methods, claims organizations. All these are involved titles, and that's why I always write this. With certain changes, and my email ID is suraj_engineer@yahoo.co.uk. You are invited to comment on this video if you wish, and if you think it's good topic and it helps world. My registration as FIE and Chartered Engineer India, as well as International Professional Engineer India, and of course this is my certificate of International Professional Engineer India, validity 5 years, and this is Chartered Engineer India link to fellow membership, and also this is fellow membership certificate, as well as this is quality file, which is very important for everybody, and this is coordination engineering file. All these files are very important. This is fellow membership I close, as well as chartered engineer certificate I close, and I open other file that is related to house construction and plot. It's also very important one for us to know. Certain times I open such files for purpose of reference, as well as for purpose of coordination, as you can say, quality issues, Bharat, India, and whole world. I can say whole world actually. Quality flops everywhere, in many countries I can say, but I am concerned with our country because we are a knowledge society, and if we cannot care for quality, in that case, what does knowledge mean? I don't understand. Maybe you people know better than me, it's true. I am very small person, only an engineer and nothing else, but I am born with quality understanding. Born means not by birth, by knowledge, by education. Since beginning of my education and till I complete my education in university or institution, as well as in field, I consider field work also education. People may not accept that, but I accept that. Particularly in engineering field, if you are a person involving with designs and construction both, I say, if you are involved with that as an engineer, you are always in learning mode as well as in teaching mode both. Whatever project we do, it teaches us a lot. Civil engineering is particularly different. I should say civil engineering is particularly different because civil engineering is such a world where every project is different. And that's why it's person who gives designs, that knowledge we get, and there is no, you can say, repetition like in other engineering branches, mechanical or electrical, where you do one design and produce thousands of such items, where no more education comes in. But in construction engineering, in civil engineering, in designs as well as in construction, every project matters, every design matters, every construction work matters, every person matters. In fact, I consider person first, individual first, and that is very important part of my you can say my proposition. Why I say that? If I talk to say 50 persons, 25 persons who are professionals, I am required to interact with them. Everybody is required to interact with others. Interaction with seniors, interaction with juniors, interaction with equals. All those interactions professionally pass information from one person to other person. Many parts of information are which we do not know, and we know by virtue of experience of one another. Experience is always different, depends on what percentage one expects to gain more and how much value I give to that knowledge. Do I keep it in my mind or I release it immediately? I don't care for that or care for it. Depends on that. It's very much important that field knowledge always helps in designs as well as design knowledge helps in field. Both are important. If I stick to myself, no, I'm a designer, I don't care for field, I would say it's my mistake then. I consider that my mistake. Because design is very much related to field work and field work is very much related to design. Because we face field work problems. When we work in field, certainly we have to face problems and those problems are resolved in field itself. And if this cannot be resolved in field, that means it has relation, it's got relation to design. In that case, designer has to resolve those problems. This means both are mutually problematic and resolution oriented. We have to be very serious about this matter. So it may be, I can say civil engineering, construction engineering is something which is unique. I cannot say I have this design, I can repeat it 50 times or 100 times. It doesn't work in civil engineering at least. It works in mechanical engineering, in production engineering, in electrical maybe. It applies to many other world parts where repetition is important, but in construction, in civil, in designs, where every project is unique. This means every project is a teacher of something more important. If I work on a project, I project myself onto some project which is construction one or design one. I have new requirements, I have new scope of work, maybe new material, new technology. Either we give technology or we accept technology and we work on that. This happens in field. You can take, for example, you take 10 buildings details, you will find all different. Maybe materials are sometimes repetitive, say RCC material as a material is okay, but how it is to be done, what shape it takes, what are theory of structures requirement, involvement, what are design involvement, that differs. So I say as a person, as an individual, as a professional, that civil engineering work always acts your guide and teacher. Every project improves your knowledge and you can deliver projects according to your improved knowledge. And that's why if you have real experience in civil engineering field, design engineering, construction engineering, planning of civil engineering and planning of projects, quality issue of projects, you can get every project as a diploma or degree, in fact. Because no project is less than 2 years, 1.5 years, even in this fast track construction time. You can't find 10, 20 years of project except if it's a big airport. Yet I say civil engineering is a work, is a profession where it is more important to know what happens in field and what happens in designs more than what a university or else can provide or keep with you, because university people are not generally exposed to field work. So I would suggest everybody to care for field work rather than showing that I am interested in software and designs. Field work is more important than something else. Well, it's my proposition, it's my understanding. Maybe you don't agree with me. It's up to you. But my experience says, if I compare my knowledge today and my knowledge when I started my career in profession, I find difference just like it's between earth and sun or earth and sky. You keep on learning and teaching as well, because when you work, you perform, other people use that. If I work on site, I do something very important qualitatively and quantitatively or coordination wise. Others use that, others learn that. And same way I learn from those details which I work on sites. If I work in design, my design others learn from. And if I use others' design, I learn from that. And that is mutual unknown expectation. I don't know who is decided by face, but I know details from trying. I still remember. I never forget. It's habit of a civil engineer not to forget. Of course, I'm not saying exactly we remember, but procedure we remember. And we design that also. And design, construction are both family, same family. Some people consider these are different because of that title problem or issue of ego. I don't mind that. I never say that I'm a construction engineer or I'm a site engineer or I'm a design engineer or I'm a planning engineer. I never say that. Of course, for purpose of job, it's because of application of job, we may say that, but in fact, it is civil engineering, it's development of world. I have worked in many countries, of course. I'm having, better exposure to many such situations. I don't claim that I know everything, and I should not claim, and nobody can claim that, because civil engineering is a wide field. So here I use title in this talk is that, why you use so many words, you can say, I write with quality and coordination. Of course, it's very important, quality and coordination. No one can go without that. If I think I can go without that, in case I think it's delusion and nothing else. Delusion, why should I say that? I'm not everything, and that's true. One cannot be everything, and that's true also. So I come back to coordination engineering and what engineers think about that. It's really a very important part. And then we can say here is quality criteria, we say quality coordination, and then communication. Communication is a very important part. And in fact, I think as far as profession is concerned, there's a replaced communication now. Previous communication systems have gone. Not absolute, but gone to some place. I think we don't want to bring back. For example, writing work, or you can say drawing work. These are very important, significant parts in communication in last worlds, in 80s, if you go back, or you go back to 90s or 70s, you find different world. Every engineer knew how to draw, how to write, how to think, how to calculate. Thinking, calculation, drawing, writing, those skills have gone to darkness. We should know that. Who writes these days? No one. Computer is there, typing is there, no problem. We type and write. Thinking is different. That time we used to write manually, using pencil or pen, and that could, every writing was programmed in mind. So we could remember what we wrote, but now it doesn't happen. We generally forget. You can say writing, drawing was very instrumental, Drawing was not easy. It's easy to say you are doing drawing, but imagination in mind and in the information we had to coordinate that one. It was a requirement, you can say information we had, and we had to convert that information using our drawing skill on paper. So that was a tough job, a difficult job, and time-consuming job, but it again used to program that one in our minds. So drawings were programmed. So you can say writing were programmed, drawings were programmed, and then calculations. Whatever way we used to do. We used to do log table, or we used to do scientific calculator, or whatever. But now that's also not required. At least we have to invent there. So we can say writing skill has gone, drawing skill has gone, calculation skill has gone, and in fact communication has also gone, because writing and writing and writing, recording and recording and recording, and now it is only, I think people even don't know what is communication. In fact, it's true. We just think I sent you mail, and that's an email. Okay, I sent email or I sent message. I don't care for messages, but for emails, it's very important part of life. Because in email is nothing but electronic form of mails we used to write before. But issue is coordination. We used to file up all those documents before. We used to write to whosoever, the contractor to engineer, or to owner or public or whatsoever. Is to write. We used to draw contracts. Now contracts are also not drawn. These are all typical. We can draw contracts only. We understand what we are going to do, and we don't know that. We don't understand what we are going to do. Point is that we have to understand all these points. We have to understand all this. So my disciple, just starting with this talk, with a view. Let me put off my battery. please. Okay, sorry, I just put up battery because it's full. So what I'm saying, my dear, I'm starting. I just introduced for this talk particularly because coordination engineering and quality I consider very importantly in this talk as well as everywhere. And I say, for example, I always show my this page to you for introduction, and this is my competency just to know, just let you know, means what is this quality is an issue in our country as well as many other countries. But I actually want to say we have to improve in quality and coordination. These two these 2 points I have caught up after long experience and long analysis where we are missing. And it's not because you don't know this, you know all this, but knowing is not enough. Knowledge is not enough. Just doing it's enough. How much you are doing in quality issues? Yeah, you have to analyze yourself. It doesn't matter where you work. You may work wherever you work. The quality is your own control. Quality in the work is also important, not only in materials. Quality everywhere is important. And coordination is direct relation with quality. Coordination direct relation to progress. Coordination direct relation to you can say your efficiency, and it has direct relations to adequacy of work requirement. Means you have to fulfill what's given. There's a question of compromise here or concession. If you demand more and more concessions, means you are not a competent person, I can say. So coordination engineering is some one by one. It's not a big deal, but just to let people know what I talk about. I cannot give details of everything, but just because this a file is related to one plate here on this file of coordination, plate, that's got something to do with your knowledge and my knowledge. And knowledge are both equivalent and both work with each other. That's what I say this now. Very ordinary file this is, and this is a coordination file, and this is that. We have some, for example, this is one. You can say this one cover, book cover. Just this, it's a coordination book. In fact, I did not name. I just named it Building Practice in Engineering Buildings. And this was published in 1996. At that time, I was too young. I required from time to time because this contains certain responsibilities, job descriptions, what you do technically in fields. For example, site engineer has to do, site agent has to do, what consultant has to do, what engineer has to do, what contractor has to do, all this, and what we have to do, and what are formats, for example, what is daily job record, we can say site diary, and what are material status, etc., and what are certain letters, memos, all that. Ordinarily it is given there, and we can understand. Of course, from time to time these titles got changed, but contents remain same. And how programs are done, very elementary. It is given. Many sketches are given there. Many responsibilities are given in this. And you say activities requirements, for example, what are activities in the swimming pool construction? What are activities required or enlisted for a building in explanatory mode? And from one person to one, it's based on experience how you do. How best you can move. Means coordination cannot be called a subject, but it's more than a subject because it applies everywhere in every branch of engineering and civil engineering, construction. It has maximum usage, or you can say maximum coverage. You can't do that. So some experience, some field experience has been included in that, with some sketches which I got from field itself. I mean, I remembered all those and put in some paper form. That's what the book says. It's nothing to do with examination. It's a question of how you mean life and how's best for you. How can you do? How can you deliver better? This only some exposure, my exposure to you. If you are interested, you can read. That's not necessary that. But my duty I did as an engineer, because I did not find any help in engineering field. When I joined, I started my career. There was no such document available which I can refer to for purpose of my site use, because nobody teaches you on site. You have to do yourself. Because site people are not to that capacity significant that would tell you what you have to do. For example, this is a building here, starting main Caribbean Gulf countries on this big, you can say considerable size building it is, and of course this statements, and which I'm saying I'm referring to the fact that file is this one, which I showed. There's also some drawing here I can include it. So likewise I can say, I'm now referring to what it is that you can say, this for example, it is also given here, I can say building, here it is, and that's this. And it is that one. Itself on its sound long in 2002, you can say. You can imagine how what it was, a combination of drawings of many. Either my own on site itself, can you think of a civil engineer can do that? But I did it that I was so crazy to know that I did this, and not only this, all other site work I did on this. And that's really beautiful to think. You can spend your time, if you have, and do more and more. And also you can say, it's a building I'm talking about, this building I'm talking about, and this building here can say, this is that method I'm giving you for it, for this building. They're going to discuss about this a little later. And this is that one, I can say. If I blow up little, and you will see how it looks like. Can you do this drilling yourself? Just being, it's a kind of coordination. It's also a coordination. If it's not available, how to check and how to do that, and really, of this. Bharat here speaks about Bharat, our name of country. Maybe for those who are not here, those who are out of our country, for foreigners. India, everybody knows, India is our name. All over the world, it's known. But Bharat is not known to everyone except our people, or related to us Pakistani people and Bangladesh people. They know about Bharat. But all others don't know. I many times interacted with people from around the world, particularly, and just like I once discussed with one Egyptian engineer senior to me, and I say, your name is Egypt, but also we call you Mishr. And he said, yes, that's right. Say we have Bharat, and we talked of it, over spelling of this and that. Means it is interaction. I respect both names because both are my names. I am son of these two, Bharat and India. Constitutionally, it's not because I want to say that. Constitutionally, every citizen of this country is Bharatvasi or Indian according to Constitution of our country. Constitution is prime law of this country. So I speak on behalf of that we have to think of quality and coordination. And coordination because it's very important, powerful tool, powerful word, which can't be subject-wise given as separately. There's no subject which can coordination. Technically oriented, engineering oriented, you can say it's very much designed. Well, coordination applies in designs, it applies in construction, it applies in marketing, it applies everywhere. Engineering coordination or coordination, whatever you call it, coordination, engineering coordination is very much useful. If you understand SEMI, means if you want to bring all information to one place or one focus or one focal point, you can say that's called. It should be in time and should be related one. You cannot provide incorrect information because if incorrect information is used, it goes nowhere, it takes you nowhere. So bad information, wrong information is always harmful. So only coordinator can understand what is required information and what's not required. Redundant information has got no meaning except to increase pages of that writing. And we are not interested in pages writing, or we are interested in something in concrete for say. Quality means also that information which is useful, you can say that's quality information, and which is unnecessarily included for nothing, and that's called bad quality information, just to increase volume of paperwork and waste time. Let me then leave person has to find what is relevant and what's not relevant. for that time is spent, and only that experienced person can know. If you give to some person who doesn't know about this, is not aware of some information, that person will waste time on that. Why it is included? What's the meaning of it? Is searching here and there, or think it has gone to that requirement. So quality coordination is also very much expertise, workplace work. Quality means how much information you have. That should be suitable, that should be usable, that could be amendable. And coordination, that one means you have to stand together. Every information has to stand together parallel to ordinate. Every information has to stand perpendicular to abscissa. Abscissa means xy, x-axis of y is y axis is ordinate. So every information should be parallel, should be maybe in sequence also, depends, but it depends on how I use that information, and how do I seek that information. That information, your request is related to my work. Because that information is absent, I either have to leave some work or have to hold my activity at that moment. You got my point. If some information is not available, we cannot complete that work even, and then it delays. So delay is one result of bad information or lack of coordination. And coordination says that when that information is necessary, when that, you can say, requirement is met, it should be in required time or before time. And if you get in before time, it's fine, we can then save time. And if you cannot get in required time, we get delayed time. Either some defect appears in work if you don't use that information, we don't wait for that. And if you wait for that information, think is very essential, in that case work is delayed. And delayed work is always not good engineering, you can say. It's not good contract execution. Delays are very expensive in contracting world or in design words, because delays means you have to recover that delay. How do you recover that itself becomes a very big question. And there can be accumulation of delays, and all delays can cause problems to us. So what do you mean by that? Means why delays occur? Because someone is sleeping somewhere, that's why delays appear. Exposure of delays means, delays generation means someone sleeps somewhere who fails to provide information to someone who has to use that information. And we can say that is called sleeping. Someone is sleeping, and that forces others also to sleep, though others do not want to sleep. So what do you say? Stop sleeping. We have to stop sleeping, and we have to get up. Quality means we have to get up ourselves. Get up quality means there is no quality actually. We have to ask ourselves to get up, or we have to ask those who stay with us or work with us to get up, or we all have to get up. And that's why quality lies in us. In fact, it doesn't lie somewhere else. It doesn't lie anywhere else. It lies in myself, in yourself. Because we are qualified people, we are engineers, and engineer means you have to work according to what is right. There's no one to tell you what's right or wrong. First you have to decide yourself. Others can review it, others can comment on this, others can reject or approve it. But we have to work as an individual. Everybody has to work. And that's why you are educated, you have gone some theoretical and some tutorial experience, and that our experience, working experience, requires to be added to that experience, theoretical plus tutorial, then and work experience, and then you can say you have got some expertise in field, and which is called professional standards, professional title. So get up quality, get up coordination. If coordination works together with us in parallel as well as in sequence, I think it can be called professional world. Coordination, which is linked to communication, communication, which is linked to information, and information, which is linked to requirement. And requirement means project requirement. Requirement means specific requirement. And so you stop sleeping in hours, and you have to be my friend. This means I have to be my own friend. I have to be friends of all those to whom I provide information, or I get information from them, both ways. So this friendship is not personal friendship. This is coordinational friendship. This is information friendship. This is, you can say, communicative friendship. This is professional friendship. Or you may say brotherhood, whatever you can say, that's up to you. But I will say all this is professionalism. I provide some information to someone, it doesn't mean I'm doing any obligation on someone. It's a part of my duty. If we deal together, if we work together, interact together, to enrich with each other on behalf of work, to provide required information, and I can say that is professional act, is a part of profession, and it cannot work. I cannot work without that. You cannot work without that. Not as a personal person or a you person, but for work. When I work means I devote myself to work, not to other person. Same way, that's my duty, that's my faith, and because I am in that profession, and my heart and my soul, it becomes a kind of, we can say, faith or worship. Worship, I can consider, engineering is worship because it generates something which helps everybody or that user for many, many decades to come. It's not one day job. I cannot say it's banana, take and eat it, or it is some, you can some eat plate, food plate and eat it and then wash it, keep it. It's not like that. Whatever you use in every project means is very valuable. Every project in construction engineering, in civil engineering, design engineering, every project has some meaning because it changes society, it changes our lifestyle, it changes status of development, and it standardizes everything. And you can say from raw to finished stage we come. I call raw when it is deserted area. There is nothing, no facility, nothing at all except some woods, and we can convert that to some ordinary city. So this different means we change whole area, we change social status, we change our standard of living, and we can say that either we are developing or we have developed. And that's what engineer does. Engineer changes from raw land to developed land. And it's a big difference. Means resources are used in form of materials. Resources are used in form of, you can say, technology. Resources are used in form of human. All these are important in construction engineering, in design engineering, in work engineering, in projects, because projects are temporary, but use of projects is not temporary. You got my point. Projects has two ways. Project is temporary, but functionally it is permanent. Because once project starts, it has some end, so it is temporary. It cannot stay there for 500 years. Few years life of a project construction, but its use as asset, I can say, project is converted to asset or operational unit once it is finished, it is delivered. And that life is very long. So we can say civil engineer, or we produce certain projects, we deliver projects, and when we deliver project, it's no more called project, but it's called asset or operational unit, which works for long time to come. And it is where we can say we add to development of society, and it applies everywhere. It applies everywhere and every part of life, and that's why it is called civil engineering, that it applies to civilians of every country. Civilian doesn't mean always civil, but you can say there is no way it is destructive, it's only constructive. Civil engineering is constructive word. Civil engineer always thinks of construction. Civil engineer must have phenomenon, must have soul that thinks of construction, that thinks of doing better and better, using natural materials to convert them to artificially processed material, though naturality doesn't go from that. We say concrete is artificial stone. That's true. Artificial stone based on natural stones, natural dust, natural sand, natural lime, natural silica, natural, all that natural. The cement is artificial, but it is natural. Its contents are limestone, its content are silica, and its contains many chemicals. All these are artificial, but limestone as in raw form is very natural. Sand in raw form is very natural. Water in raw form is very natural. So you have to understand meaning of civil engineering, and that's why I say that you have to analyze it properly, analyze everything properly. And one who can analyze properly is called an analyst. Analyst we call it, but this means a person who understands it, who knows what is requirement, how can I move further, how can we move further and further. And that part is really important, and we have to give value to that. And if I cannot give value to that one, this means there is some defect in my work. And of course life teaches, experience teaches, and I have to refer to that experience which I should get. So my dear, what I am saying is, it's not long talk or short talk. I try to explain every time to those who are budding or maybe experienced, but sometimes concentration doesn't work. I try to raise my voice to everybody, irrespective of whoever it is, to people of country, to people of world, and that's very important part, that we have to realize quality and coordination in spiritual form. I have to keep in mind what I have to do. I least bother who is paying me. I may work with a contractor, I may work with a consultant, or I may be myself consultant, I may be myself contractor, or I may be a officer, I may be an authority, whoever. Quality is not slave to anyone. We have to submit to quality. We have to do quality in a way it is required to be done. And that's why I always say, quality, you cannot leave me. Actually, I say, I cannot leave myself. Because I say there's no quality physically. It's in the mind, it's in the work. How much I can achieve it, how much I can respect it. This means I have to amend myself. I ignore or I accept. I try to get it or ignore it or not to worry about it. Nobody is going to kill me. That's also one point. Why should I worry about others? Means it's my right to do quality even if I am paid by someone else. Someone else cannot force me not to do quality work because it doesn't cost anything. In fact, it's only ignorance, it's only carelessness and nothing else. I don't think if you don't do quality work, you can save something. That's not going to happen, and this never happens. Oh, I saved this much money because of quality non-compliance. You cannot say that. In fact, if there exists non-compliance to quality, you have to bring back to compliance level, and where you spend additional cost for reparation. That's what I say. And moreover, work becomes second hand because first time you did not produce quality work, so you amended it or modified it by reparation, so it is second class then. This means if you ignore quality, you have to use second class derivative. So quality, you cannot leave me because you are my destiny. And you think, what's destiny? Destiny is very important. Every project is a destiny. And once you achieve that project, it becomes a part of your life. It becomes you can say a kind of copyright artist, or you can say that project becomes a brainchild to some extent. If you design brainchild, if you construct construction brainchild, of course you applied your mind, that's why God is constructed. So you deliver brainchild in form of designs and brainchild in form of projects. So you may not use the product, but whenever you see or think of that, you think it's my kid, I should be cared well. Everybody wants to see his projects move further and further and do better and better because you have kid. So what I say, I am father of that, is a big brother of that, whatever it is, that's my destiny. Once I do it, it's for me. Nobody can snatch it. Of course, I can't use that, but I think I did that one. That's the important point. It cannot go out of your life. And we use that in our CVs or elsewhere. Or even we think, I did that, I remember that. If somebody asks a question, I can immediately say, yes, we did that, and how we did that. We may forget something else, but even if we concentrate on that, even 50 years back, 40 years back, we remember what I told that person, how I instructed, or I designed that, or I did that. Maybe I forgot names of people who involved with that one, but we know what did that, how we did that. So we just bring back to mind what story was. So it's for nation as well as for everyone else, others. Engineers can handle quality very efficiently, coordination very efficiently, but I don't know what's happening. Engineers these days are not that type who used to be very serious in nature, and I think it's because you can say engineering force in our country is excessive now, and seriousness has dropped, and hunger has raised itself. Hunger is higher than required. Everybody wants to make money, and when money comes into mind, knowledge goes away. It's very fact. We have to establish quality. We have to establish status of coordination. We can say we require to establish it permanently, and I have to say I have to establish my standard permanently, my contamination permanently, my determination, my devotion, my destiny, you can say I have to establish permanently. And why we call engineering profession? Because engineering is religion like. It's something that we believe, and logics we do have. So we have to link logics and you can say faith together. Faith means this performance. Our belief means this performance. Our belief is technical. It's not, heart-based belief. Our belief is technical. This procedure is based on engineering-wise or technology, and that we believe it is logical, it is workable, and that's a very important point here. I just try to explain like that. I'm not going to read all the file. I just entitled quality engineering and coordination engineering is very much approachable on all design works and all. It's a must on manufacturing and construction procedures, and must do assessment for working, for quality goals and all of the works. You can say we can say how to fix it, how to fix quality. There is no expectation of any concessions. I don't want any concessions. Why should I worry of concessions? We can do it to meet requirement by concessions, and we cannot have any compromise. We have no right to compromise as far as quality is concerned. We have to meet silver lining defined quality. We define ourselves, someone else defines for us, and we have to deliver it, move it, no compromise. I cannot be slave to system as well. We define system ourselves, and we keep on modifying it. Every time this happens, that modification is added, or some item is added to that one, or some is deleted that one. So we have to keep system intact as well as quality controls intact, because system can fail but quality must move. We should not say because my system did not work, this quality did not arrive. We cannot say that. System has nothing to do with test, nothing to do with controls. When there was no system, controls also existed that times. So we have to be very serious about all these issues, and we have to see how can, wherever there are red lines, or we can say where there are stoppage signs or obstructions, those must be checked, those must be corrected, and that's what we can say, that we have to recolor it to green so that we can drive that crossing. And that's not desire, it's a must, and must be a must. That's why we have to think of time. And now I go to coordination file, that's here, and we can say, if I go back here, coordination, engineering, projects, public and engineers. I'm talking this for all, because it's such type of subject, coordination, which has no strict definition. You can say whatever is required professionally, timely, cost-wise, whatever is desired, quantity-wise, cost-wise, time-wise, technology-wise, or you can say all these are parameters, all these are criteria which have certain relations to project, because coordination cannot be defined in physical form. We cannot say this is coordination. Coordination is a kind of intellectualism which works every time, everywhere, in every branch of world, every branch of every profession. People misconceive it that it is liaison. It's not liaison. They may misconceive it that it is interaction among people only. No, it's not. That may be a part of coordination, but that is not preliminary, that is not fundamental. Fundamental is again same, interactions among information, picking of information or selecting information to meet requirement, and sources from where to get it, and many more such considerations we have to do when we constitute work of coordination. I am saying constitute because it's in our hand, it's not in hands of someone else. It's not in someone else, it's in our hands. We have to check ourselves, where do we stand, and that's what we say, engineering projects, public and engineers. And because projects are generally for public, except defense projects, which are also for public indirectly, but projects are for people, whether it's done in government or it's done in private sector, wherever it is, directly or indirectly, we have to deal with public. These are meant for people of world, and that point is very important from engineering senses, we can say. So I call it engineering projects, public and engineers, and we have to be very serious about this issue when we take control of this. Some people may be thinking, I just bore them. Yes, you are right, I bore them. I am happy if you are bored, because boring also means drilling, drilling hole, that's also boring. So I drill holes on your minds. I drill holes to collect impurities, settled impurities out through that drill. So I extract that impurity through that drill, and you get right. Well, it's just a joke. Now, as I said, communication support is very important for reliable coordination, and that's very important. How to coordinate, and what should we coordinate. And last time I think I talked something on, if I remember, that was from book. And you know that I'm using that talk also. I cannot show you that through this PDF FB. If I use direct camera, in that case I can show you. And also that's why I put cover on this page. I put cover also on this page. But that's not enough. So what I'm saying is, I always do something which is better in every way. So we can say that I was talking to you about certain coordination issues, and these issues are very significant in every way. Services finishes was talking of, structural, plumbing and drainage we talked of. Right, we talked of, or remember not? I think we talked of that. And let me repeat again. It's better. No problem. There's no harm. Even if it's repeated, there's no harm. And we've talked to us that it is regarding structural, plumbing and drainage. It is written in my book only. I'm saying I'm not speaking from current mind. This is a common coordination and well known to everyone. Every civil engineer working on building projects in industry, adjustment of levels to structure and to foundations, routing of water pipes through walls and floors. Naturally, drainage pipes, as a ground floor level, are concealed underground, and invert levels dictate depths of footing at certain positions. Passage of a drainage pipe through footing and strap beams should be avoided, and same be passed beneath base level of footing. Sometimes it is necessary to take pipe through structure. In that case, structural engineer should be consulted and extra provisions be made for re-strengthening a reduced section. Above ground floor level sanitary pipes generally pass below slab soffits and sometimes below beams and as well. In every modern building, suspended false ceiling, whatever you call it, suspended ceiling or false ceiling is provided, is press provided, that's true, and enough space can be found to accommodate sanitary pipes. This space we can say space between false ceiling and soffit of slab is called planum. Care should be responded to or taken that proposed space for air conditioning ducts, false ceiling, hanging wires and electrical cables, trunkings and trays, etc. are not encroached upon, for which a closed coordination of affected zone is required. There should be no clashes at all, and that clashes are very serious in nature and which should be resolved, and that is a part of technical coordination, technical work, technical interaction. Only additional cost to be borne is cost of providing steel brackets anchored to slab and pipes resting on brackets. In fact, internal drainage and water supply is a complicated operation requiring high degree of engineering skill and patience. Approach of consulting architect is to see and ensure that water pipes concealed in walls or structure or in finished elements and embedded in flooring, for which care must be exercised to maintain technical general specifications of related public works. Departments which shall be necessary for obtaining clearance for supplies. In this field, sanitary works should be dealt with by an experienced foreman or leader engineer, as chances of mistakes are high. Material submittals should be done carefully according to program schedule. If items misordered, delivered and even installed, test results shall reveal worthiness and replacement shall jeopardize contractor and working of system. Successful working of system. So sanitary and plumbing should be treated a special element in civil engineering constructions for building projects. Drainage coordination is equally significant and important, since part work is preceded structural progress. Site foreman, a leader and engineer take care of state activities and inspections to be done at right time to avoid delay in construction activities. Providing blockouts of cubicle seats and units are at time of erection of form works. Maintaining top level of traps maintaining top level of traps, flush or 5 mm below finished floor at location area. That should be carried out promptly and approval obtained in time. This is only brief on plumbing, or you can say sanitary. Generally we call it plumbing and drainage for some purpose. And also we can say that here. Now you go to service and finishes is also in line with that I can take, so that something moves in quantitatively here as well. In a building, every facility is intended to be included in a building, Telephones, these old ones I'm calling telephones also, though this is replaced now. Telephones and you can say, intercoms at that time it was, fire alarm system, call bell system, public speaker systems, drinking water fountains for public buildings, minor irrigation, planters, water boxes, gas supply, water supply, internal drainage, air conditioning, etc. Now, but not important criteria to accommodate these requirements, and whatever requirements these days, building management also is requirement. Building management and also other requirements are there. We can say building management is very important as far as technology is concerned. So you can say these requirements are to be accommodated and to see that that architectural appearance internally as well as externally is not aberrated or not violated or not, you can say, disregarded. Should certain deviation is considered essential due to site conditions, prior approval of responsible engineer, competent engineer, and concerned architect must be obtained and recorded. It's worth noticing that idea on prepare many times cannot be practically formed, and particularly on site, due to various constraints, factors, and a compromise is a must. Actually, technical contribution, technical coordination drawings are prepared for such situations for all services, and approvals of working drawings obtained to make a record in as-built drawings, which are to be final drawings. There may be occurrence of clashes among services of different disciplines. Only way to reach an agreement to satisfaction of all parties concerned. Telephone explanation is also there. Telephone ducts, old one it is, telephone ducts need per statutory bylaws in some states to be approved and inspected by authority. Even in some countries, telephone ducts of standard size, say 90 mm diameter, is supplied by telephone department to convenience of connecting to standard brand pressings. In such cases where specification stipulates agent stipulates, you can say, site agent has to procure according to requirements by contacting telephone authority. Just previously in some countries, now mobile is there, other issues are there. Laid duct having duly been fixed, stack pipe erected, telephone inspector should be invited for inspection. Means this is procedure. Approval obtained, resident engineer and consultant accordingly inform and noted that in such statutory bylaws applicability situation. Consultant's approval is not final, even though RE resident engineer grants approval, but it has to. It's no validity as far as telephone department is concerned. And those I'm telling about those days, just for information, they shall not accept connection for purpose of installation of telephone line in user. Once inspection is carried out, sorry, once inspector carries out inspection, backfilling may be done and contractor is relieved of contract clause, or you can say clause is operated well, responsibly, due to its being a success. For water supply and drainage, statutory bylaws are different. Similarly, satisfactory coordination should be made, you can say, for cubicle pipes, units and kitchen equipments with finishing items such as tiling, special flooring, or items match achievement. Similarly, air conditioning and electrical too, that is finishing items in services, should be dealt with finishing a building. We have only this brief for certain services. There are so many more briefs, but everything is important. Coordination is part of life. This fact cannot be denied, and we should be smart enough to understand this point, that we cannot take coordination for granted. Coordination is coordination. Engineering is a part of engineering, and it's engineering. In fact, it is multidisciplinary engineering. You can say coordination is a representation of multidisciplines. It cannot be just taken for granted, and particularly young engineers and those who believe only in one profession, one branch of engineering, they must understand that coordination is a requirement. It's not a privilege that you use it or don't use it. It's a requirement. It's a mandate on projects. We have to do it accordingly. And that's why I say communication, coordination are very significant. I'll get more information from that, just I gave you something only this way. As I discussed, I did some points, some can say, some notes to this. For example, into this file I added this drawing. I noted this drawing, and that is, you can say, a kind of elevator, a lift well. It is, you know what is lift well. And it is simple drawing, though I did more difficult than this. I just include this for example, just to let you know what is lift, how it's done. Lift well, and how it moves from lift pit, and that is from where lift starts. Below that is the lift pit, and how it moves. You can see this lift pit here in this section. Here is lift pit, and it goes up. It's just so typical way how to shutter it. It's a life formwork type, typical site fabricated sketch. Indoor, whatever it is, means this is important point here. These are elevations of these four sides. This elevation B, and this is B, and elevation A. This is elevation A. Of course, the size may be different, dimensions may be different, but principle of shutters is same. And it's really wonderful to know. Means it's only indicative one. It depends on you how you correlate it on site, but only arrangements are shown, nothing to something else. Here also you can say important point in this is this portion. You can say where entry of lift would work, and that portion in this entry door there should be no concrete. So you have to provide additional shutters not to be concreted. One shutter is provided for purpose of concreting. Here we provide shutter so that there should be no concrete. molding in this portion. You got my point? Or no, I don't know. When I say all shutters are provided, all forms are provided in this portion, these forms are provided like this, and inside also like this and that, so that there should be concrete from here to here, throughout, from one level to other level. But in door portion, you cannot concrete door portion volume, you have to do only above door. So this portion of shutters is for purpose of not allowing concrete to come into this portion. It's closed, and to stop concrete pouring into this volume, we provide stoppers, and within, or you can say this is a kind of stopper, volumetric stopper here, to be embedded in portion where door comes in, and then we have to do concrete work. Same way, it's continuation of this, and there's a pouring platform here. How to pour is inside and outside, you have to pour this all, and there's method for that. It's only for that purpose I tried to include this, and it's a really interesting one, cannot say otherwise. And there's this a building of substation, you can say. You can see this continuation of that. So this is substation plan, it's substation building indicative, and it's a part of some area, switch gear part in the same building here, one portion here, one portion here. This portion is transformer portion, and this is, you can say, switch gear portion. Here is an official status staff and engineer. Also it's this called, it is actually basement here below this. You can say there's no section here, there should be section, no problem, but it's basement. Cable cellar, it's called cable cellar. Cutouts, openings to be provided in cellar cover. Slab, cable to pass through openings, and here's a ladder fixed here. Above this is, you can say, cable trench is likewise here. Then this is switch gear area here, and this is blocks. This transform area, and this, you can say, ramp. Only for information this I put in. And there is, this is firing range, and we have put some information here as well, I think so. I think it was, maybe missed somewhere, I couldn't save it, I don't know, I'll have to see where is that, if I can find. Actually there is no, these sketches have been at random this time, I will correct later on. At random it's now only, no problem, we can see. Yes, this is a development plan, you can say. It's a plan of many plans. Not only this is a for complete extension I did myself on one project. It's complete extension which is done up to here, which is not shown in this, will show later on. This is only for administration area of this, administration area. This is administration building. This is administration building here. This one, this is ethylene plant area, administration building. And this is amenities building here, you can see amenities building, and there is mosque here, small mosque, because it's Arab country. The mosque is maintenance warehouse here, maintenance warehouse, and opposite is a fire station. And you can see this maintenance have also many facilities here all the way, internally as well as all that. So we can say, you can see I am just blowing for you. So this is I think the station written something, what station we'll have to see. Building, this is a building, and here is, you can say, you may say here is fire station, permanent of course, and this is maintenance workshop, and here is IC. So these are all external facilities, and this is amenities building, and this is a mosque. And there are other structures here which are not related to our context, so I did not write there whatsoever. And his access to this building, administration building. And this chiller enclosure here, and this maybe also that one. And of course, it's all. There is so many facilities outside here. It's car parking, some car parking here, there's car parking here. And you may say this is coming this way. You find all landscape drawings are shown for purpose of working with consumer. It's, So we can say here is Likewise, this was long drawn in this, and so many such drawings I tried to get into, and that's really interesting one. Of course, then we can say, of course, we did this, and there's another one, this administration area building sketch, and now another one smaller, and that is this is green one shown here, same way, green one, and you can see means how it looks. Same one was complicated, but it's non-geometrical here. It's just indication. How can we do it now? I did also. I think where is that sketch is missing. This is building sketches, of course, and let me go back to previous one. I think I did that, or I'm not exactly remember. Or maybe I wanted to show you one more sketch was there. Let me see. Maybe I forgot that one. I think I did not include that. It was firing shooting range. It was. Well, if it's missing, I'll do it later on. So it's only for information now. What I'm saying is I'm going to talk of this what he wrote in this about that building. Now there's some notes here of this building here. I can see this is here. I just now I'm writing here. Purpose of this statement is to describe in brief procedure that was adopted for one house construction in Delhi long back. Synopsis of engineering construction provides brief details later. A basement, ground, first, second floors, penthouse. All RCC structures from basement to penthouse, including RCC basement walls, walls in bricks at all levels, doors, windows, aluminium, existing old structure of 80 square meter with wooden doors, RCC structures. Now, for purpose of safe access ramp was profiled for access to foundation pit used by personnel and of course donkey animals both. Scaffolding was procured in form of pipes as well as wooden bullies for working only for masons, light works, timber railing was used on sites to prevent falls, and PPs were used to requirement. Here are drawings included in synopsis, specifications, general, internal, national, international, national, and materials were local. Materials are local materials from used for all activities. That's all local. Whatever materials from can procure, nothing imported as usual. Structural materials are procured from crushers and quarries. Reinforcing bars procured in full length, 12 or 14 meters, without any bend. All rebars were fabricated on site only under direct supervision. Concrete was mixed on site. Concrete was produced on site since RMC not consistent in quality. Formwork was designed using plywood and wooden battens, hardwood and softwood. Setting out, we have to start with setting out. Setting out was done by old methods of formation of a right angle triangle instead of using a theodolite. So 3, 4 and 5 triangle, base is 3 and 4 is perpendicular and 5 is hypotenuse. That is called right angle triangle. All references regarding grids and levels established on existing walls around. Excavation, and we say that existing soil type is silty clay. Let me see, it's better on the left, 41%. Existing soil type as investigated suggests it's silty clay with sand strata at 10 meters depth. No dewatering required since water table is much below. Of course, some soil was moist, but not that level that we required dewatering for that purpose. Excavation was done by JCB, which was utilized for excavation up to limited depth and limited setting out. The reason being that three sides of this excavation, buildings existed which did not permit full excavation by machine. On one end, a 3-story building existed, and on one side, one story building existed, and in front, no building, and also on left there is one building. Donkey is used for remaining portion of excavation to reach formation level and of course soil improvement course. Excavated material was removed from site immediately as and when it was dropped on the truck or onto tractor trolley. Excavation sites were protected by covering with polythene sheet so that rainwater does not help soil loosen its strength and cavity created. When we come to blinding, blinding concrete, we usually don't use this word, but it's known to everyone that blinding is important. We call it lean concrete because of strength of that, but I'm saying blinding concrete when it's relevant about strength of concrete. Since soil bearing capacity was not given, it's not safe to allow heavy equipment, heavy structure on this sort. Soil improvement was conducted. Soil improvement was conducted by formation of improved layer, and that is 300 mm deep, as explained later. That was important point, and we have to be. This layer composed of aggregate, this layer which I'm talking of, this is soil improvement layer. It is in addition to depth what we require. This layer, you can say, this layer blinding capacity is not to allow heavy structures of this sort. You can say soil bearing capacity does not allow heavy structures of this sort. And therefore soil improvement was required. And layer which is a soil improvement, I am calling it a kind of natural water filter so water could move through this. Layer composed of aggregate and sand dust duly watered and compacted so that it should also function as coarse graded aggregate strata, coarse graded aggregate. On this layer, an application of tapcrete coating was carried out, which is waterproofing of soil. Soil impact on foundations, to protect soil impact of foundations, and this was carried out. Coating of tapcrete was covered with plaster screed of that. Preparation of blinding was effected, blinding concrete laid to whole area and cured for requirement of 3 days. Foundations. Foundations. Temperatures vary somehow. I'm very much concerned about temperature, See, it's 14 degrees now. That's just a problem. It's 19 degrees and now it's 14 degrees. Oh my God. And it's showing dew point is 8 degrees. It's showing that one. Night is 15, next one 30 is day temperature showing. So you can see how much change is there, and it's very difficult to realize this change. So here is what I'm saying, talking to you about this. So now say, what are foundations? They are foundations. Setting out of foundations for foundation raft. Setting out for foundation rafts a part of foundation beam was affected. A part of foundation beam was affected. What is that? Setting out or foundations raft. Preparation of raft, including placing fabricated reinforcement, fixing of forms to sides of proposed raft, fixing spacers, cleaning whole RCC space. Special waterproofing compound was procured to be mixed with concrete for areas where a water tank portion was included within raft itself. Concrete mixing and pouring was carried out in one day successfully, followed by application of wooden finish and curing for required number of days. Work started for upright part of foundation beam, and it all included activities respecting forms, fixing rebars, fixing box outs, inserts for services, water tank, water tank slab, etc. were prepared. Concrete was mixed for this pour. We mixed with self-leveling concrete compound. During this pour, one sectional beam side tried to open, but immediately was controlled. Curing was done. Curing was effected for required number of days. And that's where we stand here with beautification of mind as well. So these are activities. Curing was effected for required number of days. So these are many points. What I'm talking is this, what I'm talking to see. You can see this is foundation. This is foundation beam, and this is a very important one, foundation beam. And it's not ordinary beam. You can say it's not plinth beam we call, or foundation beam. In addition to foundations, we call isolated footing. It's not that one. Just don't confuse. It's different. If you see sketch is section, you keep in mind the section which has got soil improvement with this below blinding, and this is a beam, regular beam. Regular in a way it moves around the same. It is, you can say, I can show you plan if I have architectural here. Yeah, is that. You can see this is foundation actually. This is our foundation rebars. If I can blow it for your reference, it's like that, you see. It's that here. How beautiful it is, you see. This is my foundation. You can see yourself section of this foundation. 400 wide and 120 deep. 120 deep up to this level here. This is 30, 20, 20, 20, 60 and 4, 1 meter here, and this is 20 centimeter, 0.2 meter, so total is 120. And you can see steel reinforcing bars in compression zone, in tension zone, both equal, and of course additional shear strength requirement is done by these rings. So this is continuous. Here this is spreader, load spreader, and also moment taken by these main bars. And if you see here, you can be clear about what I'm talking here is, this is your all columns are connected with different kinds of beam, different designs of beam, depending on bending moment requirement and normal resistance. We provide with these bars, and it's concrete and all connected. Nothing has been left unconnected. It's all connected. This is what foundation I'm talking of, a very important one. You can say yourself that it's kind of beam around in horizontal way, of course. And if you think that when force, seismic action, seismic force, seismic shear is on all these directions, it impacts. These beams will be acting very important box. The important box is horizontally in resistance. You can say resistance, horizontal resistance in this strong form will not allow to move. How to move your building upwards, and we have to suffer from that account. You can imagine how foundation is very strong it looks, and it is strong because first of all there is no bearing pressure issue, and then you can say only difference is non-symmetry of this shape of plan. You have to calculate horizontally as well as longitudinally. So you can see how complicated it is or easy it is. Well, according to me, it's not complicated, easy one. And you can see this is here, it's a plan for excavation. This is excavation plan. Hull portion only, and it has area 156 square meter. So complete excavation was done. And also you know, this excavation plan is a foundation excavation plan. This is, and here is foundation beams. I have discussed with you already. This is your foundation beams. This is your plan, architectural plan of house. This is so what actually we learned in this, I can simply say quality systems, lessons learned, and conclusions was that. That is also very importantly, because it is also very important and significant. Let me put on my battery first. So I'm putting on my battery here and put it like this. I can say now is just I have commented like this. This quality requirement is more significant than quality awareness. This is most important point. We have to realize this quality requirement is more significant than quality awareness. This point we have to understand, because people just think of quality awareness, what I am saying, not that one, but something else here. And that's something else very important in quality requirement. Quality requirement. A quality requirement refers to a condition or a capability that must be present in a requirement. They represent that which is needed to validate successful completion of a project deliverable. Easiest of quality requirement to capture or express once. Quality requirement, and this quality requirement refers to a condition or a capability that must be present in requirement. Now, there is one website says examples of quality requirements. Quality requirements and quality requirement project management, defining quality requirement. So let's just go on to this example. This in 2017 examples of quality requirements, and let us see what this person says on quality requirement. Because our specification of quality of products, Quality requirements are specifications of quality of products, services, processes, or environments. Quality is element, tangible and intangible. It gives things value beyond functionality and features. Illustrated examples are reliability. It says reliability, consistency, availability, usability, customer experience, look and feel, environments, customer service performance, maintainability, material ingredients. Likewise, it gives some factors. I think it's better to show you this. It's not very big one. It can be shown. 11 examples of quality requirement. Let's say I can show you this one. It's not simply given.com, just for awareness for everybody to understand what's quality. And that's really very much important. Just a minute, please. It's coming up. I'll show you just for a couple of minutes to discuss on this. And we'll just go back. It's in print stage, and we'll show you now. It's here. You can see this. It says it is applicable. Say 11 examples of quality. For example, this is here. Quality requirements, it says, are specifications of quality of products, services, processes, or environments. Let me blow it a little more. So it's here. Quality requirements are specifications of quality of products, services, processes, or environments. Quality is an element, tangible or intangible, that gives things value beyond their functionality and features. Following are illustrated examples of quality requirements: reliability, enduring and consistent performance. Enduring and consistent performance in real-world conditions. A drum designed to maintain its sound for artists of like consistency requirement. The units be same, the units of internally consistent pulse that are mostly the same size with similar appearance and taste. So that's consistency, you can say. And availability is availability of services. For example, a requirement of software service to be up to 99.99% of time. Usability requirements related to ease of use, such as can of coffee. All right is usability. And customer experience requirements that make a product or service more pleasing to customers. Requirement that coffee small. Okay, look and feel of products and services as aesthetics of mobile device. And environment, quality of environment, such as interior design of a hotel lobby, customer service, and performance requirement, and maintainability requirement, things be easy to maintain and fix. And likewise, quality management, and we have to see different. So we've gone through these points. So much are these points to remember again, that it is reliability, consistency, availability, and usability, customer experience, look and feel, and customer service. Likewise, maintainability, quality management, all we discuss here. And therefore I close this site. We go to someone else also this time. Let's see what others we get. As is quality requirement. Now, quality requirement, project management knowledge. Let me see what this says. Project management knowledge. Not much is given. Let me see how it works. Can it do better or not? Sometimes you have to select like this. You have to find like this. Print is coming out. I think hold on please. It's coming out and there, and we'll discuss about this. Only very brief it is. Project management knowledge, it says quality requirement. It says quality requirement. Sorry. Quality requirement is a common term in project organization, and is defined as condition used to assess conformance of project by validating acceptability of an attribute or characteristic for quality of particular result. Nutshell, you can say in a nutshell, quality requirement defines expectations of customer for quality. Internal processes as well as attributes of products that indicate whether quality factors are satisfied or not satisfied, whether or not quality factors are satisfied. Hence, the quality requirement defines expectations of customer for quality standard and internal processes as well as attributes to products that indicate whether or not quality factors are satisfied. Quality requirement in project organization are defined in terms of quality criteria, quality factors, quality criteria, quality factors, and quality requirements, you can say, for organizations are defined in terms of quality criteria, quality factors, and quality metrics. Quality criteria document internal process. Quality criteria, you can say, documents perceived aspect. Quality criteria document internal processes, internal process and attributes of product that be monitored all throughout project life cycle. Quality factors document perceived aspect of user regarding deliverables of project to determine if project satisfies expectations from customers. So we can say quality factors document perceived aspect of user regarding deliverables of project to determine if project satisfies expectations from customers. Lastly, quality metrics document indicators used to measure quality of product. So we can say what are here is quality criteria, quality factors, and quality metrics. It says quality criteria document internal process and attributes of process and will monitored all throughout project life cycle. Factors document perceived aspects of user regarding deliverables and you can say metrics document indicators used to measure quality of product. Quality requirement is used by different project leaders, project management processes, particularly quality management plan, to create risks register, requirement documentation and cost benefits. So quality management is a project management process that defines quality of requirement and standard of what called control quality metrics, requirements, quality. So that's what it is. So I just close it, not much more than you can extract from this. And we think if I can get more from this, let's see. Definition of a quality management is building projects. Let us see what it says. There is such something new always, and we have to find how can it. Definition of quality requirements is bell-wildering. Quality requirement, a condition of capability that we use to assess conformance by validating acceptability of attributes for quality of result. So I don't think something I get out of this. Writing quality requirements, defining quality requirements of project, attributes of high quality requirement. So I think there's nothing very specific in this, so we go somewhere else. We have to understand quality is very important part. If you understand that, only we good, otherwise you cannot do this, So it's really Okay, let's go back to file and see what does it say, and that's very important point. Now I was just trying to explain to you quality requirement because I use this word on this explanation, and therefore that's very important. We should know about this. So quality requirement, we can say, is more significant than quality awareness, and we have to strictly use quality requirement rather than awareness, because awareness is no more question, not preliminary stage of quality system, it's advanced stage, and we should prove that whatever attributes are given, these can be incorporated this for use in metal products. So you can say if you want to see quality product, it should be quality requirement, that should be understood very well. And quality awareness is only a kind of something we should not depend upon, because reliability means quality requirement, and requirement must be binding, leaving chalta hai attitude, or we should not worry about chalta should be thrown away. We have to thrash chalta attitude, and chalta means let it go as it is, and quality last attitude, we should say quality last. Quality first and quality last, or we can say quality requirement must be binding, leaving chalta attitude quality last. Don't worry, quality is first now, quality is a must now, not last now. From first to last it should be. Quality should be from first to last, or must to work, not to dust. We cannot check. If we check, okay, it is must to dust, no, it's a must to must. So ठीक करो we call it in the it's called it for we replace by ठीक करो or quality must attitude. So quality last is changed to quality must, and ठीक करो means do right every time. Quality systems requirement must be adherently applied from designs to tendering, and award to supervision to execution of construction operations as well as post construction maintenance. So merely signing of document is not sufficient. That's true. Merely signing of document is not sufficient. But carrying out activities and 100% inspections or examinations are mandatory. Those personnel involved with quality system operations, must be themselves quality competent as well. Quality supportive, quality competent, quality supportive, and must campaign for its reality achievement by increasing other departments' personal responsibility, ignoring personal spoil whole system quality. I repeat, those personnel involved with quality system operations must be themselves quality competent as well as quality supportive, and must campaign for its reality achievement, by encouraging other departments' personal responsibility, ignoring personal spoil whole system quality. Lapse on quality cannot be digested in any case. Lapse of quality cannot be digested in any case. Whether activity belongs to pre-earthquake preventive measures or belongs to post-earthquake disaster management. Earthquake is taken because this paper was prepared during that session of earthquake long back. How to improve buildings, that was point. How to enhance capacity building of engineers or increase capacity building of engineers. That after the quality system introduction for decades, products quality has not resulted resulted as expected. Consequently, by inefficient you can say so lapse of quality and performance and its efficiency cannot be allowed to be digested with any disaster mitigation scenario, whether it has to be in operation or it has to be as supporting resources or as involving leading authorities. Whosoever and howsoever big one may be, hard work input, dedication, commitment, implementation, post-implementation scrutiny or audits are all a must requirement, and therefore must be seen duly performing in addition to approved or recognized agreements. Bare talks and statements would not work to give required results. Real action must be seen doing by one. So here we see bare talks and statements will not work to give required results. Real action must be seen doing by one, by all members of all department sections. No leniency should be allowed, should be accepted on doing whatever activity, any activity you can say to requirement in whatever department or section. Safety first and quality must. Safety first and quality must attitude be adopted as a strong potential slogan. Can we understand this? Can we understand this? What's that? So what we say, safety first and quality must attitude must be adopted as long as or as a strong potential slogan. And can you understand this point? So you can say since world has been changing, our Bharat India has to change. Otherwise, there will be no way to escape. There is no way to escape from due responsibility and legal liability. So what we should say, no safety, no pain versus no safety, no pain. Can we understand this? These questions we have to answer. information. I provided you this, and important point was here. You can see this sketch that we provided. What does it say? Yes, this is very important foundation design, and which digests, diminishes, you can say, to some extent, shear impact of seismic shear impact, because these beams which are showing now, of course, with depth of this section here, these beams play important role. This beam and this portion all becomes a kind of column in when these forces, seismic forces, apply, and which can give major protection in this case against failure. That was main point of this. I go back to coordination file again, and we see how does it behave, how does it work. That is an important point here. Now in this book I have written some more elements. This is regarding coordination and others. Now it was external services. Let us see about this something. What I wrote in this external services. It says external services include sewerage, storm water, drainage, water supply in buildings, irrigation in landscape, and telephone ducts, electrical ducts banks and electrical ducts, firefighting pipes, firefighting system, hydrants, that we call ring main, connections to septic tank, now containment these days, connections from substation to internal transformers, connection to substations, external rectification. Of course, substations in internal transformers, connections to substations, external electrifications, etc. External works include hard and soft landscape services, roads, sports courts and surfacings, games field, security function, franchising, fencing, security fencing, services, yards, and of course you can say boundary walls, gates, steps, swimming pools, and here is long list also. That is 3 pits, special works, minor auxiliary buildings, substation, guardhouse, worship building, and pump houses, underground water storage tanks, walkways, pergolas and sheds, external lighting poles, but not, you can say, not least. All underground utilities, pipe works should be carried out prior to above items. All foundations should be finished before start of external piping works. External piping was remember the managed services run underground externally, for which proper coordination is a must. Proper conduct of coordination is a must. And many deviations occur. For example, in drawing water line and electrical cables may be shown in same section, but it is impossible. It's impossible, and a deviation must be there. A deviation must be there to shift electrical cable. Must occur deviation. Two services pipes may strike. It should be avoided. Proper surrounding to network should be done. Avoid cracking in future when traffic is allowed. Inner levels have to be related to finished levels. This will go through, and because this every time I take some and some only for purpose of doing job, because it cannot be finished in one day. We have to think in different fashion how to move on this, because we must understand first clearly, not just move in physical form. We have to think in a different way. And also therefore I'm always interested to link this to coordination issue, and we can say building services coordination. Building services service coordination involves assigning horizontal and vertical locations for individual system components within defined architectural and structural constraints. This is also called MEP coordination. Everything you know. Then this MEP coordination, designing. Wikipedia, this is building services. Let me see. It says MEP coordination. BIM wiki, and I'm not interested in BIM. This is not. I want to accept this one here. I would like to say improving building service coordination, and that is buildings Wikipedia. No, it's not. How to improve? It's a matter of fact, actually. It says, so Amaral improving building services coordination at pre-installation stage, and I think it is here what is in fact purpose. Let us see the method. Longness, not very long, I just read it for your reference. This is for amaral.com. Coordinating interdependencies between concrete activities is a special challenge in managing increasingly complex building services. Effective coordination at pre-installation stage is key to minimizing field conflicts between building services systems. This study aims to investigate significant causes of production, shortcomings, traceability to pre-installation stage, and to what extent these in turn probably contribute to higher volumes of construction debris. Coordinating independence between concrete activities is a special challenge to challenge in managing, organizing increasingly complex building services projects. Effective coordination at pre-installation stage is key to minimizing field conflicts between building services systems. Now, design methodology and approach. First point is that let us understand this. Now, relevant provisions, research and preliminary studies of production, shortcomings in building services. Subsequent in Hong Kong, a series of structural interviews with practitioners were formulated and analyzed. Findings lead to deductive reasoning in developing suitable approach for subsectors. What are findings? The study reveals that poor coordination among different trades and processes and frequent design changes and errors are seen as two of major issues which cause of production shortcomings in pre-installation stages. Poor coordination among different trades and processes and frequent design changes or errors are seen as two major causes of production shortcomings in pre-installation stage. Now paper discusses improvement strategies based on conceptual models of interdependence teamwork concept. A dynamic coordination buffer, and a BS coordination facilitator in order to introduce identical critical causes. Research limitation. Although further research is required, findings in paper can be useful reference for other regions as study methodology may be replicated. Originality value. Research limitations are there, although further research is required. Finding this paper can be useful reference only. Other regions as study methodology may be replicated. Original value. In search for solutions and improvements, a number of proven industrial organization principles are incorporated in new conceptual models. They are expected to help alleviate identified causes as critical. All the further research you need to find in this paper can be useful reference for other original values. This is why do you need MEP services, MEP coordination services of your building. Why do you need MEP coordination services for your building projects? And this is engineering division. It says mechanical, electrical and plumbing coordination services, harmonization of all building services with other disciplines that form building fabric, structure and external envelope, steel, concrete, etc. Building services include heating, ventilation and conditioning. Let us see what it says. We will read this better, and if you can get something out of it. I'm just trying to get it. I'm sorry to say that I could not find very reasonable or reliable inputs from internet. It means coordination engineering is not working well. It's not working well, and therefore I am very serious about this. If you want some information, you have to apply your own efforts. No ready-made efforts are available anywhere, and that's where drawback lies in. And you have to remove that drawback. So it says this page. This is from why we need MEP coordination services for building projects. And it says that mechanical, electrical and MEP consultants drawings have no clashes. Mechanical, electrical, most cases MEP drawings, mechanical, electrical and plumbing coordination services is harmonization of all building services with other disciplines that you can say that form building fabric, structure and external envelope. It may be steel or concrete. Building services include heating, ventilation, air conditioning, etc. And now it is more than that. It says MEP team comprises of MEP consultant and MEP contractor, trade, MEP contractor, and in fact, say MEP consultants is MEP contractor, trade specific MEP and firefighting subcontractors, fabricators, installation and maintenance specialist. MEP consultants prepare 3D MEP coordinated drawings and pass them on to MEP contractor. That is, MEP team comprises MEP consultant. MEP consultants prepare 3D MEP coordinated drawings and pass them to MEP contractors. MEP contractor is responsible for installations and fabrication. This means it is role of contractor to do detailing, fabrication, spatial coordination and installation on 3D drawings. It's about challenge necessitating needs of MEP coordination services. That's what we have to see here. That our services page number 2, 9 pages are there. Let's go to other one. In most cases, though, through MEP consultants, drawings have no clashes. MEP consultant shall have to change designs to some extent so they can benefit requirements as far as ease of fabrication, lagging insulation, allowance and installation efficiency is concerned. Some changes that contractor is likely to make include duct resizing, pipework rerouting, splitting of electrical ladder, change of equipment, etc. Need for MEP contractor to redraw consultant's design drawings affects project deadlines and schedules negatively, which ultimately affects budget. With MEP coordination services, there's increased integration of various members of MEP team. MEP coordination work is also presented in a 3D environment for all disciplines. 3D virtual model offers following benefits: eliminates chances of clashes, ensures that team members address all spatial issues before final model is created, prevents delays and disputes at site since it helps prove working of all services beforehand, provides an easy means of communication as 3D model can be easily walked through for demo. 3 ways MEP coordination services save you time and money. Mechanical, electrical and plumbing coordination services integrate each team's design to address conflicts during constructability review process. Design conflicts avoided or eliminated early in project positively impact overall project and greatly reduce project cost. Outlined below are 3 ways early coordination of design teams save projects a great deal of time and money. Reduce project rework and material waste, offer more competitive bids, streamline build process. So let us say reduce project work and material waste. First way to save money is to reduce time and material spent correcting mistakes. Using MEP modeling, MEP drawing conflicts, remove early on decrease amount of project work, minimizing waste and improving project build efficiency is a sure way to make happy customers. Offer more competitive bids. Using more accurate drawing and detailed models, team shall have advantage of offering a more competitive bid. Project costs are more accurately estimated using modeling. Alright. Streamline build process. Using virtual remodeling to reduce delays in project completion and streamline building process. Streamline with use of weekly design review meetings to address conflicts early on to save both time and money. MEP coordination services are essential to ensure quality and cost effective construction. Coordinating early on avoid many potential conflicts, thus reducing project waste. Ability to more accurately predict project costs allows for a more competitive bid. Engineering design offers MEP coordination. Okay, leave it. Now we'll go to what is that? It's only services. I think they are talking a lot more than that. Nothing else, so leave it behind. No material part is not very important, but okay, we got it to select. Now we'll see how can we move further on this. Typical stages of MEP coordination, a framework for process of active coordination, building and industrial projects. MEP coordination, building services coordination, blue thorn. There's nothing much here. I'm disappointed really. There's absence of coordination. We cannot simply rely on modeling. We have to do ourselves. We have to think ourselves how best we can do, because every project is different. I say every project is different. We are not really as consultant everywhere. We can keep everything perfect. So I'm not here to think of VIM coordination, but I think of coordination only. That's the main part. But I think design, so I can't say design coordination, its importance. Study design coordination is important. So like Lincoln, I'm not interested in Lincoln Liquid. PDF analysis building program. I'm not finding any reliable, practical way while engineering a video. Yeah, I'm sorry to say. There is absence of coordination in general in engineering, and engineering coordination is not available. That's coordination commissioning. I'll leave it. I close this. No problem. We come back onto our file, and that's it. I was talking about this issue of, in this case, I'll discuss this house construction later on. I'm interested in awareness. I can say coordination engineering is a must, as we say. For reliable quality engineering works, deliveries, coordination engineering is a must. A professional engineering of also. This book is much better than I wrote this long back, but it says what you have to do. That's important, because if you want to reflect everything on computer, I don't think that's the right way, because it's very difficult to put all information of technical nature. So, as I said, I'll give you examples. For example, I want to produce this. What's the purpose of this design? I said its purpose is to coordinate. Its purpose is to coordinate not only services but also construction activities. We have to do here construction coordination, but that's very important from every viewpoint, and we have to think of that. It's not simply because I can do it. Means we have to do everything ourselves. This original work we have to, for example, we have to do plate work for form work. Work maybe nowadays available ready-made, but it's done there as well. So we cannot afford everything cost-wise if you buy or if you rent some specific customized form work from. We have to do it ourselves for our filtering, and that's what we have to do. That's a part of coordination. Even civil work coordination, you can say construction work coordination, how to relate to architecture and structural, and then services may come into that, lift services or whatever others, and how to do that. That's the reason I've tried to include such sketches in this, and it's very, very important. Each value, each point values, everything values here. And we cannot leave it aside. You can say, for example, I'm talk of this, every point talk of is of much importance everywhere. The sketches I try to bring in for some purpose, and it's really. You can meanwhile this is you can see briefs of this. You can see for 5 minutes. I'll be back. Just a minute, please. I'll be back in 5 minutes for your information. I'm going there for some work. In 5 minutes, temperature, I already checked temperatures. Now it's 15 degrees in Faridabad, and 15 degrees in Faridabad with wind speed 9, and okay, it's okay weather. So I can start. So you can meanwhile read this. I'll be back in it's only 2 hours 25 minutes. I'll be back with this, don't worry. I think I've gone through this and that. This ones are important enough from every point of view, and I close this book now. For example, if I'll take up this tomorrow after doing services, and I really am sorry to say again that there is no input from, there is no reliable input from, you can say from web about coordination engineering, and it's really surprising to me why it's not happening, and what should we do about that? How can we make changes in our lifestyle? This was for process area that you have gone through, and now I will take some, this is a hospital building, for this is here you can see arrangements, and here you can see this portion. We are here talking of here, and it's here. You can say this one, and you can see this projection is here. Of course, this projection and this projection are here. 1, 2, 3. Likewise, 1, 2, 3, etc. You can see 1, 2, 3, and here are two windows. 2 to 4 also like here. 2 to 2 are this here, and here's projection here itself, and there too. So you can say this, we may expect this as this one, and of course other building is here, it's not seen here. We can see all this somatical and hospital, general hospital is a clinics. It actually they call it clinics, no problem to call it. We have to make sure this hospital building, construction of RCC in all foundations, RCC construction, all floors in all buildings, and probably up to 35,000 cubic meters. 6 stories main tower, it may be 6 stories, or I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basement is also there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. Of course, above ground it's not 6 stories, above ground is less, 6 to 4. You can say 6 stories main tower, operations, theaters, theaters area, kidney, nursing quarters, OPD, and many more such areas. Walls generally constructed of concrete blocks, partitions, board gymnasium, gypsums, board bases for linings backed by metallic system, without which services inserts are included. Yes, it is walls. So walls generally consist of concrete blocks, cement partitions, board, gypsum board, bases, lining, backed by metallic system, within which services inserts included. False ceilings provided everywhere where building services had been included. Basement floors provided in main building connected to service building through utility tunnels. All building services equipment mounted on basement floor. All infrastructure located around, including sewerage system. Water supply system, irrigation system, electrical system. Sewerage system included disposal from basement using pumped disposal services from deep manholes, located externally out of basement floor. And so they said here certain red lines we have to check in, and we can say, can we know, this is in quality file, can we know and apply quality standards? That's what we have to now think of here. Can we apply quality standards, comply? Can we apply quality standards, comply with overseas, for example, GCC countries and buildings and on-plant facilities? That's a question mark here. Can we work on coordination activities to achieve defined or expected quality profile and works? That's another question. Why we should not revisit quality required specifications and expected quality profile. Why we should not revisit quality required specifications, update per world working standard requirements. Why should we not apply coordination requirements? This is not a must reliable solutions. Really, we have certainly worsening state of quality or not built state of quality of works. How to improve such mandated works quality to certain minimum required marks. Should not force ourselves to work on coordination in each activity. Worsening state of quality of concrete and how to improve such mandated quality to certain minimum quality marks, required marks, and we have to understand concrete component in constructions amount to measure percentages, and we have to therefore understand very clearly what concrete is. We cannot simply take concrete as a material, it has to be taken as a technology, and we have to achieve that technology. We have to talk to concrete, we have to understand concrete, its impact, what it speaks of. In its structure, its kind of polymerization, its water relations, its temperature effects, and its actions and reactions and long-term relations with structure. You have to understand these points, not simply software understanding, it's not design understanding, it's understanding of material in its totality. That's what we have to do, otherwise we cannot understand. Everybody has to understand that. Till now we think that concrete is a material only, but we have to change our mindset and we have to say, no, it's not material, it's something different. It's a system, total system. If you don't understand that system, we cannot do concrete. We have to train people, we have to train ourselves first. We have to train engineers first, we have to train technical requirements, we have to train designers as far as concrete is concerned. How does concrete behave? How can we achieve required consistency and constructability and its quality? That's most important, because every batch of mix can be different, every project is different, every consistency slump is different, strengths are different, and there's many arguments going on among engineers in this regard, but nobody's clear. And that's the main point. Writing something is not important, it should be totally known. So you can say concrete component in construction amounts to major percentage of cost, and therefore it becomes incumbent on us to care about quality of such components, of course, out of common and professional understanding. That why do we have no seriousness in this regard? Worsening state of communication coordination during working for engineering designs and executions or construction activities, also a major factor to take into consideration. That's worsening state of communication and coordination during working for engineering and engineering designs and executions and construction activities determined and did that because it determined and dedicated role. Determined and dedicated role of engineers towards realizing these requirements, or else quality remains a myth. And I can't believe I can't rely on quality that is not clear, that is not understandable, and we cannot understand what material it is, we cannot think what right material is, we cannot reveal total power of concrete, we have to say, otherwise we cannot stay in dream only. Can you do it? Or we are incompetent, inconsistent societies and communities in engineering. I'm really very much upset with engineering communities who do not have higher profile interest in quality, understanding of concrete. Our engineering force are incapable lot. When shall we awaken ourselves? Shall we transform existing engineering strength into standard quality workforce, or just we keep like as it is moving? We keep on moving, and who shall decide? Who shall decide about all such questions that are being faced in current scenario? And information must be brought to those personnel who require it. That's first requirement. And if we know what information is, only then we can equip that with people with, and must be provided in right time for right requirement, and quite rightly, duly coordinated dissemination of engineering information. If information is known about quality requirements, how to transform using method statements, and that we have to chart out, we have to streamline how to concentrate on construction methods, decision making, resolution to the right work per standard requirements. And the methods can be designed and drawn, stated for designs, for execution, for carrying out activities, as well as for rectifications or conformance or remedials or for services. Methods means comprehensive methods, not ordinary methods, not selective ones. Every activity should be, you can say, charted out formally into certain classes of methods, and no work be carried out without availability of referring to method statements agreed by all, and which must contain potentials of SHE quality approach at every possible and convenient stage. And of course, it should be properly done. It should be properly referred to specifications, standard as well as otherwise, particular for certain activity. And if it is manufacturers related material, then manufacturer's input, concrete input, required input should be taken into consideration, because that is proprietary basis. And then also we have to consider contracts for designs, procurement and construction. And should engineers know it thoroughly? That's another supposition, because engineers generally skip such issues of contracts. I think more than 98% engineers skip. I don't know why, what's the reason behind the skipping, though it's a part of job, it's part of profession. And we recognize to design. Do we recognize to design quality contract? Or do we go per lines decided by others that we have to decide? Should we ignore power and impact on works, quality, performance that contracts can attack on designs and prosecution? Do our engineers have developed interest in contract designs, drawings, activity, which always remains very complex and certainly impacts on contract performance or contract related disputes? Are we engineers those interested in designs activities, not inclined to involve with construction activities? And if not, what are valid reasons? What is the issue that engineers do not incline to work in coordination activities that impact on quality of designs and quality of construction? Should we respect project contracts, or we should move without such contracts? We can say, what about major materials being concrete in structures and that are considered often permanently included in structures and buildings every year of projects? What about engineering materials being used to produce various hundred parts, we can say, goods in manufacturing? The provisions by government to force productions and constructions be delivered with quality compliance? What can be certain reason that quality requirements being ignored by nation? What reason does exist that the engineers not able to conduct required contributory roles towards quality remain? How can quality be controlled in systems worked out for best organizations in this regard? What should be required active role of engineers in all branches of engineering? What should be role of actively performing workers to handle instructions in this regard? Quality compliance requirements so difficult that professionals ignore it, they remain under pressure. Can people digest bad quality in goods, products and construction? What's the role of government in this regard? Should the government not add its active role towards quality? What should be role of customer and consumer? End user in this relation? Should end user customer not awaken to know quality requirements? We have to establish quality system, quality procedural approach while conducting designs, planning and prosecution of execution of works. Shall do it? Who shall do it? Shall we keep it silent and long as it has been ongoing, or do concrete actions? So these are many questions we'll take up later also. And now my view is that we can say to close it already. And you can see that it's gone away, and we have gone through all this. And we'll take up this matter sooner or later, and I take your leave for this. It's all 3 hours. So